Tonight on the show, we have the lady who was chosen as the first civilian astronaut to go into space. She is a teacher. Her name is Christa McAuliffe. She is with us tonight. So, stay where you are. My first guest tonight, I'm sure you have read about or heard about. She has about a 3-page article in this week's People magazine. She is a high school teacher from Concord, New Hampshire, and she was recently selected by NASA from a field of over 11,000 applicants to be the first, as they call it, average citizen in space. We have a little piece of videotape taken at the White House where she appeared with the other 9 finalists the day that she was selected. Watch the monitors.
It's not often that a teacher is at a loss for words. I know my students wouldn't think so. I've made 9 wonderful friends over the last 2 weeks. When that shuttle goes, they might be one body. But there's going to be 10 souls that I'm taking with me.
That's sweet. Would you welcome Christa McAuliffe? It's too bad, Christa, that you didn't get emotional during that announcement. I thought you kept it very well in check and real cool and collected like a real astronaut.
Well, you know, Johnny, I was so afraid that the only thing I was going to get out was one body, and it was going to end at that, and I wouldn't be able to finish my line.
That must have been a very emotional moment.
It was. We had spent 2 weeks together and gotten very close, and there was a lot of not only physical energy in those 2 weeks, but a lot of emotional energy.
Now, you've done so many news conferences and so many shows. From being a school teacher, what subject do you teach, by the way?
Well, I teach an economics course.
Right.
I teach law.
Right.
I teach a course that I developed called The American Woman, which is a social history.
Good.
And then I teach American history to 11th and 12th graders.
Now, all of a sudden, you are a national personage. You're in the news all the time. Has it been more than you're able to handle? Has it been what you thought it would be? Have the demands on your time been so much that you say, wait a minute, maybe I didn't want this, or is the honor so nice that you say?
Well, right now, it's a lot of fun, and
right.
I'm enjoying doing this. One of the things that's been nice, because I don't have school this summer,
right.
is this is the only way I can get the message across to my students. I don't have a chance to get into the classroom right now, so they're finding out everything that's taking place in my life.
So school was not on when you were selected, right?
I left the day after school got out and started the whole process in Washington.
Are you going to get a welcome when you go back this fall?
Oh, I'm sure.
How did this all come about? I remember when they talked about this a year and a half ago about having a civilian go into outer space. And I guess the reason they did that, you probably know better than I, is so somebody could come back and report not from so much as a technical sense or engineering sense, but what a person who is not basically a scientist would feel like, and to be able to communicate that to other people. Is that basically the idea?
Well, NASA has a space participant program. I'm the first category.
Right.
And there will be other ones. And what they were trying to do, I think, was probably twofold. One, to give people a little bit of ownership in this program.
Right.
The space program belongs to everybody. And the other thing was to try to find somebody who would be a very good communicator and would impact on as many people as possible, and what better person than a teacher?
Yeah. What'd you do? Just make out an application and shoot it in? Or?
Oh, I wish it was that easy. In December, I actually had to fill out a little application to get my application. So
the government at work, yeah.
That started the process. And then I got a 15-page application back, which was a little overwhelming. And actually, they sent out 45,000 of them, and only 11,000 teachers decided that they were going to actually fill it in.
What kind of questions did they ask in that kind of for this program?
Well, there were 8 basic essay questions dealing with everything. Why do you want to be the first private citizen in space? How do you foster international awareness in your students? And a space shuttle project that I had to prepare. I had to have recommendations from the community and from my school. But the unique thing about it was it didn't ask how old you were. It didn't ask your marital status. It didn't ask if you were in good health. It was a very open type of thing, really looking for somebody who'd be a good communicator first.
Yeah, but I would assume that somebody would have to be in good health to do that. This is a rather strenuous physical undertaking also. You have to be in good shape, don't you?
In the first astronaut programs, people did have to be because they experienced so many G-forces when they were taking off, and sometimes the astronauts were in pain. But now, actually, a space participant, as far as qualifying for eyesight, if you were blind in one eye and had vision correctable to 20/40, you could still fly aboard the shuttle.
Oh, I see.
So the physical limitations are much less today.
Well, obviously, they had to narrow this down from these 11,000. were there a larger number than the original 9? I mean, of course, but there was some elimination process along the way?
Well, there was a council of chief state school offices, and all that means is like all the superintendents around the country had the opportunity to devise within their states a committee. And then they handled the applications for their state. In New Hampshire, we had 79 people who applied.
Is that right?
So they looked at the 79, decided who they were going to interview. They chose 7.
Right.
I was interviewed, and then they picked 2 from each state. So the original number, because we have schools overseas in Guam and Puerto Rico, there were 114 of us who met in Washington.
It's really something. When is this scheduled for? I mean, do they have a target date for you?
Well,
as they say, to blast off?
Is January 22nd, but with the missions being bumped up a little bit with the problems that they've had, I would assume that it's probably beginning of February now.
Are you in any way frightened of something like that? I mean, it's a normal question, because just the other day it was kind of, they had a frightening lift, and one of the engines went out.
Yes. I really haven't thought of it in those terms, because I see the shuttle program as a very safe program.
Right.
But I think the disappointment
Who was it once said?
Would be
Deke
really
Slayton,
hard.
I think. They asked him how he felt. I may be giving credit to the wrong astronaut. He says, how do you feel when you're up there in the capsule? He says, it's a strange feeling when you realize that every part on this capsule was made by the lowest bidder. I don't know if it's Deke Slayton or not, but they'll make sure that I get that right. But, you know, sitting up there, what are you going to be doing in space? Do they have any idea? What?
Hopefully I'll be able to keep a journal so that I'll know exactly what my feelings are and record everything that I can, so I can share this when I get back. But I will be teaching 3 lessons from the shuttle. I'll be teaching a lesson in science, 1 in humanities, and another one. So.
From the shuttle?
Yes, and anybody who has the satellite dish will be able to see the teacher teaching from space.
I'll check in with you. I remember a few teachers when I was a kid I would have loved to seen going to outer space. Old Mrs. Krug would have been my first choice when I was in 3rd grade. Yeah, she'd have been a great candidate. I understand you've had to undergo also you have had a little bit of training in what they call the space chamber or something, or what is that?
Well, we did a couple of things when we were down in Houston. One, we had a test for claustrophobia, and they put you in a ball that was a diameter of 42 inches. It kind of looked like a collapsed sleeping bag on the floor.
Right.
And you sat in it, they zipped it up, filled it with oxygen, turned off the lights, and left you there for 10 minutes. And I was a little apprehensive before I got in there. I was afraid I was going to be yelling and clawing to get out, but it was actually a very cool and comfortable environment.
There are some people, I suppose, who couldn't tolerate that situation at all, right? The fact that they're being closed in the dark and silence.
The sphere itself is actually going to be used aboard the shuttles in the future as a rescue sphere.
I read about that. Now explain that, because this is mind-boggling.
The shuttle crew, although it consists of maybe 6 or 7 people, only have 2 spacesuits. And that's for the commander and for the pilot, because obviously they have to know what they're doing because of the craft. So the rest of the people would zip themselves into these little balls, and they would be able to maintain life right now for approximately 2 hours while something was happening with the craft. Now, a rescue craft could come along.
You're just a big baggie in space, you mean?
Just about.
And you sit there and orbit in this...
Or I kind of have this wonderful mind picture of the person with the spacesuit on kind of carrying these 2 balls around, you know, with people floating in them. But
in other words, the idea, in an extreme emergency, they would leave the 4 other people with the twist top.
Yes.
And hope, I guess, to get up a ship to pick them up.
Or if the space station is there or something like that, yes.
Wow. How long will this mission be? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, it's going to be 6 days.
6 days?
Yeah, and every 90 minutes I'm going to be orbiting the Earth at 17,000 miles an hour. And I really hope to get on the treadmill around California and jog across the United States.
While you're in space? It sounds absolutely fascinating. You seem to be handling it very well, and I think they made a very good choice. Because I think you can communicate this to most of us who really can't understand all of that. You're excited to go, huh?
Oh, I really am. I can't wait.
Hey, I thank you for being with us tonight. I wish you well. I think the whole country wishes you well.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm going to tune in. I've got a satellite dish. I'm going to tune in.
Oh, please do, but I don't...
Do you have an early morning class, or what time of class? What time will the class be exactly?
I'm not sure, but I'm sure it will be broadcast so that everyone will know.
I'll watch. Thank you, Christa.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Fascinating. Yes. There is an experience in life that very few people will ever have the chance to participate in. Would you like to?
I'd love to do it.
Wouldn't you like? Sure. Boy, would they need a booster. I mean,
that's
you know,
very
because,
nice.
well, I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I mean, because, you know, it's...
Yeah.
Let's go
See if
together.
I zip up your bubble.
Can you see us fighting over the bag? My bag.